Mm. Right. Okay, I still can't get online and I paid my bill. Are you trying to block me from going to LA Film School or something? They ain't even sent me the letters they said they would send me, I guess, to do the link, to do the course. Does it bother you? I proved Ben and King wrong, who were supposed to train me and didn't, and asked me if I was gay 3 times. King knew by then I would say no, even if he asked, by the way. And didn't train me right either. See, you get. You at least got to tell me which book goes with the work card, because then I would have to read through all the books up on the shelf to figure it out. I didn't know that had to do with the books. They didn't mention that in A school either. Oh, when you do a job, you might have to use a book in a work card, right? They just gave me the work card. I didn't know. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to teach you to play a note. For now. It's called the D. Mm-hmm. Right, because that would make me look bad. Not them, not them. Then how did I make it through the first year? Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, vanity is his favorite sin. What do you think I'm doing? No. Remembering. Maybe you want me to talk to you more, and or to deny it more, and maybe it's a mental block you want me to have this morning. Because every time I play it, I prove you full of shit. And that no one was giving me a chance. Oh, what? That means... So... Now, if you take a 4-year-old and you start her with the flute, okay, it would still be worse. By the way. Because a 4-year-old can't play one at all. Unless you again are helping her sound like she is. And that's fraud. That's fraud. And you won't accept it, but it's fraud. See. I'm finding my own way. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Even if you're lying out your ass, you can go your own way. Like Satan taught you to 5,000 years ago. Or more. And you're following him into hell. Means you're dying in your sins. You're not even confessing them right. So you're all going to hell. You're all going to hell. Because Jesus can't stop you. You're not confessing. Me, I am. Jesus did. Even if it was showing them everything after the cross. How he was the Messiah. And they were taught the wrong things too by the Jews by that time. Right. Because it's easier for men to point out other men's faults than to work on their own, usually. That's the whole point to all this. You don't want to know the truth. You don't have to know the truth, but it probably is something sexual. Usually that would explain why you suddenly became aware you were naked when you were naked the whole time in day 6. And at least 70 years in day 7, no good 930 years after you ate. Yet you have 10 days of tribulation. What does that mean? From the 40 days when he left to Pentecost is 10 days, by the way. Mm-hmm. You got to hold your mouth right. See, part of learning to play is positioning a lot of things. It's not just picking up the instrument and putting it to your lips and blowing. But you got to say it first. See, that shows who's trying to make me think of it. Whatever it is you're trying to make me think of it, you're bringing it up first. See, by bringing it up first, it means you're really thinking about it, not me. And being around you, okay, knowing your personality by now, I know what you're thinking of by now. You're showing me every day. You think of me being with little girls or being gay. With you. Obviously. And I keep telling you what? No, I don't do that. See, that's the one word that should normally stop all this, right? And you go your own way. See, I'm not the one making homosexuality an issue in your life. You're making it in mine, even though I had sex with Sheena, even though I had sex with women. You don't get that. It's not sinking in. Whoever you are. I'm just a Samson or a Hosea character from the Bible, by the way. You know what that means, right? Well, see, one thing you gotta do is just figure out how to play something for yourself, alright? It's a hot eating. It's a hot eating. Because right now I'm having what's called a mental block, right? I'm learning something new, right? Well, if my mind is resisting it, right? Or I'm not sure what I need to do to make the sound, of the note D for the flute, I'm mind blocking. I know. But what I'm doing, though, is learning how to make sound first, right? Like I said. To hit the correct note. And see, that's still progress, right? See. Maybe my neck's in a little bit of stiffness from last night's sleep, even. But see, I feel like nobody is defending me but me. But see, you're still making sound again. See, it's not just my mind block. It's yours that you don't want me to succeed. See, I gotta work past you first. You're my obstacle. I'm not my own obstacle. Well, see, if you don't want me to do it, you're praying against it. That still affects somebody. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You're being anti-Shane. Not just anti-Christ and not knowing it. You're on the devil's side trying to harm me. Because see, if I succeed, that proves you wrong. Captain Carey, whoever signed the med board, right? Dr. Asner, Dr. Oakes, right? Proves you all wrong. And actually it proves Bethesda more right, or the guy who just said I was a little delusional. That's the point. But you're giving the psychiatrist and the psychologist power to harm people, even if they're religiously having a real religious experience. You're not letting that go. You're making like it's paranoid schizophrenic or what? Bipolar. Well, again, Paul heard voices. Elijah heard voices. Moses heard voices. Samuel heard voices. In fact, Samuel means he hears God. He hears God. But that's what we mean, right? The Gnostics called Samuel the blind God. But maybe that's sarcasm, see? What do they mean? What do they mean? So was Paul having a thorn in his side, and since we know Jesus struck him blind, some people think it was his eyesight. That was the thorn in his side, right? And he had vision problems, as do I. I know. Sounding low. I think C is all the notes down. And like I said, you got to work on your armature, a lot of things, right? Well, see, there's a start, right? Usually when you play a scale. See? Then I just start playing magically. See? I'm figuring it out for what? Yourself. Myself. Not you. Not as fast as you can play it, whether you can play it or not. It's not about you. I'm a 50-year-old man learning to play flute. And so far, it looks like I'm doing what? Okay. For a guy who never picked up a flute before. See, the whole lesson is the lesson. Okay, to try. So it's also called experimentation, right? With the instrument too, right? Now, first thing is, to do this note, you do this, right? So, the fingerings, right here. And back here, and here. But who was it embarrassing to? Captain Carey, because he believed the shipmates over me. Sheena, because she did. Right. If they wrote typed letters to her, I can only guess. All right. But see, I play it till I play something, right? You recognize, right? The whole song, right? At least once. What does that mean? Once you can play a song, if given time and more practice, you can play any song, right? But you got to work out the first song first, right? It's the point about trying to succeed at something, right? And what do you think I've been doing all day? What time do you think it is? Around 10? Between 9 and 10? Mm-hmm. Where is it? Yeah, 10:27 actually. I know. So, if I've been resting till now, like I told you, even if I lift weights briefly, right? I'm not doing it the same, right? But the thing is, if you do big weights, you get bigger. But you do less reps, right? To get bigger too. You only need to lift 500 pounds once a day, and then you're lifting 500 pounds once a day. But certain things you need a spotter. Like I told him about the bench press. He had a spotter. I don't. I don't trust you to even do much more than 255 anyway, I know. And you're the ones acting all crazy about even 255. Like that's not a good solid weight or something, right? When it is for the bench press, right? Anything between 150 to 200 is considered, 250 is considered a good bench press, right? Unless you're just messed up. That was my body weight. You understand, right? It's what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But what you're thinking, okay, is a disability just means what? I can't do nothing? You want me invalided in the bed 24/7 to be disabled? That's not a disability. Some people, like you said, can lose an arm or a leg if they're disabled, right? But you can see that disability. But if someone pulls a back muscle or has a mental illness, according to the psychiatrist or the psychologist, right? Depending on if they've seen other psychiatrists or psychologists, Captain Gary, you can't denounce another psychologist just because you want me to be schizophrenic and it to happen before I joined the Navy, right? You can't do that. See, and if I don't know something, okay, I don't know something until I really know something too, right? Like I said, I don't believe I heard voices, but I don't know. What does that mean? What does that mean? But I did hear a Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem in 93, right? Booming in my head, right? Kind of loud, right? Kind of like Moses or Elijah or Jesus or Paul. Mm-hmm. If I can mention four other people who can do it, though, and it's related to Israel, it could be what? A real religious experience, right? I don't know, but that don't mean, okay, it's not messing with me or it's not causing me confusion, right? Right. It is. And not everybody wants to hear God sometimes. Now, did Peter ever report hearing God? I don't recall one instant. Right? But Jesus and Paul did. And Paul's the one writing to the churches, encouraging them to continue in the faith, right? Peter wrote one around the time John and Jude and James did, right? Eventually get around to it. And then John wrote Revelations, which is the last canon you accept. But you have a problem with the Gnostics because they're telling you something sarcastically you don't want to hear this in the Bible too, right? They also talked about Nas and him being with Eve and Adam. And that he was an angel too. What do you think Moses means when he says that the tree of life said to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and Adam and Eve, the man has become as one of us to know good and evil? You're ignoring what that means.